I never thought a single day could change the way I saw life, or that it could leave scars so deep I could barely breathe. Yet that day came, quietly, devastatingly, and it started with a boy I never truly loved. It was the day my wife died. She had always been the light of the house, full of laughter and warmth, and her presence filled even the dullest corners. But that light vanished with her sudden stroke, and with it, the fragile bond one had pretended to have with her son, a boy who was not my blood. He was 12 at the time, quiet, respectful, always polite, and painfully aware of the distance I kept. I had married her when she was strong, independent, and raising him alone. At 26, I thought I could accept him because love required acceptance, right? But what I couldn't admit was that acceptance out of obligation is never the same as love. After her death, the house felt hollow, like an empty shell. The boy moved through the rooms as if haunted, and I felt no pull to bridge the gap she had left behind. My grief consumed me, and in that consumption I hardened myself. One morning, I looked at him with eyes colder than I had ever imagined capable of seeing another human being. "Get out," I said, my voice flat. "You're not my son. Your mother is gone. I have no reason to take care of you. Go wherever you want." He didn't cry. He didn't plead. He simply bent to pick up the worn backpack with the broken strap, the one she had bought for him months ago, and walked out of the house silently. Not a word, not a glance, not a backward step. And for the first time I felt the weight of nothing. No guilt, no sorrow, no shock. Just an emptiness that I convinced myself was relief. In the weeks that followed, I sold the house and moved to a new city. I focused on my business, my life, and my peace. I met another woman. No kids, no complications, just comfort. Life improved, or at least I thought it did. For the first few years, I occasionally thought about the boy, not with concern but curiosity. Where could he have gone? Did he survive? Did anyone care? I dismissed him quickly. It was easier to convince myself that he was gone, and therefore irrelevant. Years passed. A decade. 10 years of quiet mornings and calm nights. 10 years of pretending that my conscience was clear. And then, one ordinary afternoon, my phone rang. An unknown number. I almost ignored it. "Hello, sir," a calm, professional voice said. "Would you be available to attend the opening of an art gallery this Saturday? Someone has specifically requested your presence." I frowned. I didn't know any artists. I barely went to galleries. "I think you have the wrong number," I said. "No, sir. They specifically mentioned you." The voice paused, then added, "It's important you attend." Something in the tone froze me. A decade of avoidance, of ignoring, of pretending I had no responsibility, shattered in that instant. I felt a cold hand gripping my chest. Saturday came, and I found myself walking into a sleek, brightly lit gallery filled with canvases that seemed to speak with colors I couldn't name. The crowd was polite, murmuring in appreciation, but my focus was elsewhere. And then I saw him. The boy. Not a boy anymore, but a young man, strong, poised, and confident. He had grown into someone beautiful, not just in appearance, but in spirit. The same quiet dignity, the same calm presence, but now with a strength that seemed untouchable. And he was standing beside a painting so vivid, so full of life, that it stole my breath. I walked closer. The painting depicted a house at sunrise, golden light spilling into every corner. In the foreground, a child sat with a broken strap backpack, staring into the distance, and beside him, a figure who looked suspiciously like me, but distorted, cold, and lifeless. "Beautiful, isn't it?" a voice said behind me. I turned slowly. He was smiling, not angrily, not accusingly, but with a soft, knowing warmth. It took me years to finish it. "Who are you?" I asked, my throat tight. He extended his hand, and the warmth of it felt like a memory I had tried to bury. "It's me, your stepson." I couldn't speak. 10 years of ignoring, of pushing away, of pretending, crashed over me like a tidal wave. My guilt clawed at me, sharp and relentless. I began, but the words failed me. How could I apologize for a decade of neglect? For the coldness I had shown to someone who had never asked for anything but my acceptance? I know, he said softly. I know why you did it, and I don't hate you, but I had to leave to grow, to become someone who could stand on my own. I spent years painting my grief, my loss, my anger, and my hope. He turned me toward the painting. I painted what I felt that day you told me to leave, the emptiness, the fear, and the cold, but also the sunrise, the hope that even after loss, life continues. I felt tears burning my eyes, the kind I hadn't allowed myself in years. I was wrong. I never loved you the way I should have. I treated you as an obligation, not as family. And now I see what I lost. He smiled again, gentle, unbroken. You can't go back, and I won't make you try. But you can start now. Learn to love fully. Learn that family isn't just blood. It's heart, commitment, and care. For the first time in 10 years, I understood. Life had taught me a brutal lesson. Neglect and coldness cannot create love. Absence cannot erase what should have been nurtured. And time, relentless, merciless time, cannot be reversed. I stood there, overwhelmed with remorse and wonder, looking at the young man who had survived my indifference and turned it into something extraordinary. He was not broken. He was not lost. He had transformed his pain into art, into purpose, into life. And I had been a fool. We didn't hug that day. Words were unnecessary. There was understanding in the silence, and a lesson that could not be expressed by mere apologies. That evening, I left the gallery with my heart heavy and my mind awakened. 10 years had passed, but the truth had finally arrived. Love is not automatic. Love is nurtured, cherished, and given freely. And sometimes, the greatest lessons come wrapped in the presence of those we neglect the most. I had lost a son once, but in seeing him, I learned that even the deepest mistakes can teach the hardest truths. And though I could never undo the past, I could finally carry its lessons into the future.